So this is my tester running. Yeah, probably you can hear at the back I've got the motor running because I've got a fan on the back of here from like a wood stove that used to blow air around, so I put it on reverse so it sucks out, goes through that black hose down there, goes into a bucket down here that's got about 8 inches of open cell foam in it, and it works quite well. Now I know these are 2-stage injectors on here and I haven't got the right equipment, but at least I can see what these injectors are like when I take them out. And it's funny because all I want to see is if they're dribbling, if they're blocked. I don't want to set them up like what the poundage is and stuff like this, because I haven't got any shims and they're very hard to find. But just as an example, at the moment in here I've got myself a 300 TDI injector that was new from China. Now, I always thought that these had to blow off at 2000, but apparently this is higher. It's very tricky to get an actual reading, but the other thing is if you go very slow, you can see them dribbling. Like they'll just put jets out. A jet like that is not too bad. Now at the bottom of my setup here, I've got an aluminium foil catcher to catch any liquid, and I can take that out. But it seems to be okay. Let's try another one. So I've got another one in, and this is a good example of a knackered one. Can you see? Won't even get to £2,000. Look at it dribble, it's peeing out, look. So, in effect, that's a knackered one. So, if you're building an engine up and somebody says, oh, can you check my injectors? I know the 2-stage things, but and it's not the perfect setup, I must admit, but it's better than a poke in the eye, because if you sent all this lot away to a diesel shop in Quebec City, they'd just say, they're scrap. Well, that's a waste of time, you might as well buy new ones. And this is the problem when you want to buy new ones. Let me turn this fan on. Yeah, there's an extractor fan at the back. So, these are 200 TDI ones. They do exist new, but a set of 4 is going to cost you £1,000 plus tax. You know, Bosch ones. Now I haven't seen these aftermarket ones. I've seen the 300 TDI ones on aftermarket ones. Like this one. This was a 300 TDI one. Would I put that into my truck? Probably. Probably. But 2 of them were pretty bad. They weren't balanced up. And that's the problem. Balancing your injectors, getting them all to go at the same poundage, if you see what I mean, same PSI. The shims for them are sort of like made out of unobtainium. I don't know why you can't buy just the shims. But again, I haven't got a machine to do 2 stages. But I think that little test proves that you can see which is a good one and which is a bad one. So if a customer comes in and he wants a video of his injectors, I say that's them. You know, I can't cheat. You know. So you just don't know what to say half the time, because a lot of people buy diesels because they're cheap to run, but as soon as you want to fix a diesel system they get very expensive. And of course, you know, like we're in Canada and you need them to start really, really good in winter. Now tonight's going to be -20 and there's not a hope in hell's chance that they'd fire up at -20. They'll be just squirting diesel in instead of atomising it. So I don't know what to say. You can buy nozzles for the 200 TDI. In fact, the customer brought me some, so let me wash my hands. We'll go and have a look at a couple. Right, so I've opened some nozzles here that we've got. Now, a customer supplied me with these nozzles here, and this is an old 300 TDI nozzle I kept just for see if we could clean it up a bit. They look identical. You see? Look identical, except they're different. They've got different part numbers on. If you look very carefully, you can see one's thinner than the other. So I've got my old gauge out here. Wait a minute, I'll set it to 0. 7mm for the shiny one, The 300 TDI one is 7.2. So they're not the same, and they don't have the same part number. So let me put that back into its box. And now I know that what these are because I bought some genuine Bosch nozzles and I sent them down to my local shop. And he said, oh, they're no good, they're no. I fitted them myself. I said, oh, can you just check them on your machine? No, 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 no. He said, they're no good, they're no good. And he sold me another set twice as much. And I thought, well, they could have been exactly the same ones. That's what it said. Like, sometimes a bit of a bloody rip-off when you don't know. Anyway, that said, the part number on this little bag here for the 200 TDI ones is FRC 4868. I don't know. Check it out when you get home. I haven't got enough time to waste on that. Now, another good thing this machine's good for testing is this type. This is what I was trying to say. These are the old 2.5 injectors, and they're just a simple pop valve. They just pop off, but you want to check them again for a spray pattern, and you adjust them. We've mentioned this before. Might as well do it again and again and again until you get it right. Hold on. They're inside there. There's a little. I don't know if you can see. Can you see it there? There's a little screwdriver slot, and that's how you adjust the pressure. None of this shim nonsense. So there we go. That's a little bit about my setup, and like I say, I'm happy with it because it works. If I had enough time, I'd sort of play around with it a bit. But at the moment, all it is to check those injectors for the engine that I'm building up. Fit these nozzles and see what they're like. Now, technically speaking, inside these injectors there are some springs. Ah, yeah. Here's one I stripped earlier. There's some pins and there's some springs like that. Now, over a period of time, we're talking 25, nearly 40 years, that these springs can compress a little bit, and that's why you need the shims to either compress the spring a little bit more to get the pressure up, or they've broken or done something like that. But again, where do you get them from? Have I got a shim in there? Wait a minute. That little chap is one of the shims. Now, of course, they come in incremental sizes. Well, I don't know where the hell you'd get something like that from, but I don't really want to go down that road. You know, like the 300 TDIs, when there's a problem, just go and buy a set. I mean, I was buying them a few years ago for 75 quid a piece, and they were worth doing then because it cost more to, you know, rebuild them than it was to buy new ones. They were from Paddocks a long time ago. I don't know what the prices are now. I might just put it down here and see what they are. But the 200 TDI ones are particularly a nuisance. Not good, eh? Anyway, so that's it. The machine's up and running. It's in this little corner. It's out the way. You see, I can take the handle out. It's a good little set. So when I get a bit of free time, we'll get cleared out, because at the moment I'm having a massive sort out here. You know, I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff this year. I'm going through my containers whilst it's quiet, and I'm just binning stuff. I've binned already about 3/4 of a ton of gears and bits and pieces of LT77 stuff that nobody wants. You know, like nobody wants these. This is the very early LT77, brand spanking new. But what I'm going to do is cut the ends off. And I might just put them in my shop as these are ideal clutch aligning tools for 200 TDIs, 300 TDIs, 2.5s, and so we can resurrect them. It's a shame really, but these are off like the very first 1983, 84s, and you like suffix A. Nobody wants them anymore. I just picked them up at a sale, thought they'd be handy. I've got about 3 or 4 of them. But they'll come in handy for something else. And then the rest of it, scrap. So that's where I'm getting onto today, because it's going to be a very, very cold day today. See ya.